because obviously I don't know what I want and I don't know what I'm talking about. So if you keep poking the bear will just come to your house and eat honey and love you. No, the bear will eat you. Okay? You poke the bear's going to eat you. Hello everyone, author DL Tillery here, the Mistress of Horror, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, how about you press that subscribe button, give this video a like, and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. It is that time again for the writer's vlog, where I piece together little snippets throughout my month prior to this one. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I get a good amount of footage, sometimes I don't. I'm going to really, hopefully, I gathered enough footage this time to give it a little bit of more longevity, but I make no promises. But I do hope you enjoy the vlog as to what I had going on, and I'll see you on the flip side. This is the week after when the writer's blog came out for July. So I start trying to make sure I keep up and record on time. I usually try to do at least one video a week leading up to this video that this will be airing in. So I'm talking about the future and in the past, so it's a little weird. Anyway, I did the 25,000 word challenge. This is the week after the challenge, because the challenge was set for July the 10th and ran to the 16th. So, or I guess technically you could have said the 17th, but it was really supposed to end on the 16th. So I made it by the skin of my teeth on that Sunday, the 16th of July. It went well. I did finish 4 short horror stories and finish my work in progress, which was Caliostro Book 2's draft. That's the plus. But why people have to try to be like they think they're tricksters, like, ooh, I'm a trickster, look at me, la la la. Could you not be annoying? That would be good. I just check my channel, by the way. I'm going to make a video about, like, the dude. Well, I'm going to make a little skit or something. But anyway, so the dude is, like, who runs the group, messages me after the challenge is over and, like, goes into this spiel about an academy, and of course it costs money, and talking about, oh, publishing, and then this is how the marketing and blah blah blah, AI, blah blah blah, right? And I'm like, that's cool. I understand people have things that they want to sell or things they want to do, which I'm not offended by. That being said, once I tell you no, that is not actually an invitation for you to try to convince me, because obviously I don't know what I want and I don't know what I'm talking about. So if you keep poking the bear will just come to your house and eat honey and love you. No, the bear will eat you. Okay? You poke the bear's going to eat you. Anyway, it's annoying. The person was like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not interested. So, long story short, I was like, I'm not interested. Thank you. Being polite and professional, as I always try to come off, especially until you piss me off. And this part of the vlog is going a little longer than I wanted to, but you have to know about this, okay? And then he said, well, I'm going to send you a voice message. First off, who said you could? Stranger. Second of all, if I told you no, and I did give a good reason, not that I freaking had to give you a good reason, because I said my budget and funds are tied up in other things for my writing right now. So I'm utilizing all of that. So I'm sure this will be a good program for others, but I'm currently not looking to do anything else. So no, not interested. So thank you. That does not open the door for you to then tell me what I'm doing, rudely, by the way, because it's rude. Just so we're clear. Rude to then tell me that all the things that I'm doing, more than likely I need to stop doing those things because I'm probably spreading myself thin and I'm doing too much. Thanks, Dad. What? Anyway, and you're doing too much and maybe just do my thing. Look, sir, if you just want to sell something, then just say that I'm selling stuff. Stop trying to act like you care about how I'm doing things, because you don't. Because you couldn't even wait like 3 days after the thing was over before you had to try jumping and sell things. Like, if, that's fine that you want to sell something. You want to sell your course or whatever, Mr. I don't know who you are. Like, okay, I've taken master classes with master world known writers. Who the fuck are you? Why would I do that? After you're being annoying. Because you can learn something from anyone. They don't have to be big and well known. But why do you think that if I told you what I'm doing and what I'm utilizing, that you then can tell me that what I'm doing is no good, more than likely? Trying to walk around like I can't read between lines, and then proceed to tell me that, oh, if you want to do it today, sign up, it's only this amount. Excuse me? Oh, I didn't know you had access to my bank account. I didn't know you had access to my monthly budget. Like, don't tell somebody what is cheap or what doesn't cost too much. It's not that much. It really gets on my nerves and gets under my skin when people do that. They're like, for this cheap price of blah blah blah, or this low price of la la la, or you get this amount for blah blah blah. Let me decide that. I don't need you to tell me when you don't know what I have available. Okay, so yeah, he got blocked after that, because if I told you no in a respectable way and gave you information why it's no, not just because I don't feel like it or I don't think what you're offering is good enough. I literally gave you a good reason, which I didn't need to, and then you decide you can just overstep and message me with a voice message because obviously I'm not understanding. Like, sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to just right off. Like, thank you. No, you squandered any possibility of that. When I told you no, you should have respectably said, "Oh, I understand that." The academy will be here if you end up being interested later. So please stay in the group, and that way you'll know any changes or whatever. Don't get an attitude because you like, well, you need to do this, and I'm trying to make a sale, sir. I don't give a fuck if you're trying to make a sale. When I told you no, no means no. Okay, thank you. Anyway, that went on way too long. So that part of the vlog, I had to let everyone know about this. I can't stand when people think they're gonna push you into something. Yeah, no. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next vlog and let you know what's going on with the stuff that I did right and what I'm doing currently. See you next week. Bye. And I'm back for another writer's vlog. Week 2 of that type of recording. I took a short little break after all the writing I did for finishing up those specific projects because of the 25,000 words in 7 day challenge that I did complete. But after the little break, I decided I was going to focus in on some of my romance stuff that's been sitting on the back burner for a minute. Since Caliostro book 2 is drafted first draft. Believe me, it's a dumpster fire, so it doesn't matter. And book one for Caliostro is ready to go, except where it needs to have to be formatted, which is not a big deal. Um, so I'm still deciding on a release date for Caliostro. Um, it's a marketing thing. It's funding. I need a little bit of it because of the everything's tied up right now, pretty tight. And I want to release this, but I have I need some push in order for it to succeed on the level I want it to. Of course, you can just release your book, especially with KDP being around. You could just release it and hope for the best. But I don't really want to be put in that position for it. I would have very little marketing to back it up if I released it in my current setting. But I actually was thinking about starting a Kickstarter to help back the release of Caliostro so I can stop pushing it back. And I think that will, because the book is finished, the cover has been done, the editing is done professionally already, and the formatting. Aphrodite Lee is my formatter. She has a formatting business, and she's going to format for me, so that is covered. But it's just that I can release it to KDP. So either way, when I do the Kickstarter, which that's really what I plan to do, to make sure that it goes off with as much force behind it as possible, so that more people can know about it, because you don't want your book to go off with a whimper if you can avoid it. It's okay if you do need to release it that way, because a lot of us have to, but I do want to have it to be, I want it to be backed more. That being said, I'm going to do a Kickstarter for some pretty cool stuff to be involved with the launch and to get this backing so I can release it this year with a full force behind it. Either way, once I put the date out there, it's going to come out. So it's not like it's not going to come out even without the Kickstarter backing, but it would really help. So once you see it out here, hopefully you can spread it around the Kickstarter and maybe even be a part of it if you see something you're interested in the tiers and the stretch goals. So once I have that released, I will let you know, of course, on the channel and do a whole campaign for the Kickstarter. It was something I talked about with Aphrodite Lee because she has a Kickstarter planned for her graphic novel. And I was like, well, maybe I should give the Kickstarter a try. I know you could fail, and if you fail, then you don't get any funding at all. But you can't go into something looking at it as if it's going to fail. Maybe a lot of people care about Caliostro. Maybe a lot of people I've talked to about will be interested in some of the tiers and the cool stuff that I have planned for it. So we'll see. So anyway, keep a lookout for that. And that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to flush out that plan. And also back to my romances, I'm planning on to push out some romance. It's going to be a mixture of paranormal romance and there's some contemporary. There's a contemporary series in there, and fantasy romance. Mostly, a lot of my stuff is paranormal romance, but there is a contemporary series in there. But I've been outlining, so I'll probably continue to be outlining for the rest of July, more than likely. But I just started dibbling into it. So starting off with one series, but I have a whole bunch that was already idea based. So I'll have to flush out some of those and then get them outlined. But I'm sure you'll hear about them going forward in the vlog if I manage to keep up with my weekly recording. Let's hope I do, because I really would like to. Anyway, I will see you in the next video of this vlog. See you soon. Hello, everyone. I'm back for the writer's vlog. What do you think about I pinned my hair up today because it's getting kind of, yeah, it can get in the way. So the day is out of the way. And this is going to be the last video for the vlog because I didn't get that I like try to do 5, 4, 5, something. But either way, it's the last one for this blog. And I managed to outline 12 of my romance novels that I have planned. And if you watch some of my other videos over the past month, I did mention about my pen names and stuff like that. So I was, I already had different pen names for my categories that I'm planning to write in. DL Tillery being the main one for my adult category. And I have one for my middle grade to YA, which is Freya Ravenwood. And I have one for my erotica as well, which is Lavinia Hart. And Loving Your Heart, that's my little tag for that one. And I was going to do another one separate for my romance, but I decided to just not do that because I didn't want to do too many. Also, I think people will figure it out. Granted, a lot of people know me as the Mistress of Horror, though the Mistress of Horror label itself and my brand for that is that I'm married to all the other genres. I am the wife of all the other genres, but I am the Mistress of Horror. So that being said, I was telling you from the get-go that I will be writing other genres with the DL Tillery label, if you didn't get that. So I decided I'm just going to keep it like I have it, where the categories are my pen names, and only genre that I have that I'm specifically separating is my erotica because people don't want them to get confused. And my romance will be under DL Tillery as well. I decided because I did have another pen name that I was going to use for that, but I decided not to. Mostly part because I already have so many book covers that were already made for a lot of these romances, and they have DL Tillery on them, so they're getting utilized. Anyway, so that's the case. So I did manage to outline 12 of them. I only started the beginning of one of those. So I'm going to just hunker down and write through and get as many done as possible because next year is the year of release for me. I'm going to be releasing a bunch of stuff. I do plan to release Caliostro this year still. Keep your fingers crossed. When the Kickstarter begins, which I still needed a month to prepare it to make sure that it is correct and ready to go, then I'll release the Kickstarter, but I'm still going to release Caliostro even if that doesn't pan out for people supporting it. That being said, I'm still going to do it because there could be support for it. I don't know that until I try. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then Caliostro will come out this year. I still do have my horror collection, which is tied into Caliostro's universe. It has his mythos in it. So that, I'm not sure when that will release, but I still have to write 2 of the short horror stories that go in there. The 4 that I finished doing the 25,000 word 7-day challenge were for that short horror collection. So I still have 2 more to finish in that. And then my poetry collection, which is my dark romance poetry collection. So the stuff is more romantic inclined, and the word romantic in its sense of itself, where it may come off as romantic, but it's dark. As you know, if you watch my Layer of the Mistress series, that I do dark romance poetry through that. So, or dark poetry in general. But that's another book that will be releasing as well in the near future. But Caliostro is my book baby, so it's going to get the most attention for the launch. So none of the other ones won't have their own attention, but Caliostro does take precedence currently. Anyway, that's what I have to report so far. I am going to be writing heavily going forward, so I will be being very busy. Busy. I also did take part in the open mic poetry night over on Morgan Lee's channel. hosted with JC Carpenter, and that's still up if you want to go catch it. I did read 2 of my yet released poems there, and those 2 poems will actually appear in my um, dark romance poetry collection. So that's the first time you ever heard them. So if you want to check it out, I will leave the link below if you want to go and check out the replay of that, because it was live when it occurred. And yeah, that's what I've been up to. It's what I've been doing, being very productive. I don't talk about a lot of my personal life in my vlogs. Sometimes I dibble and dabble in that stuff that's going on, but that's not for this month. I skipped all that stuff. Maybe in the next vlog I'll feel more inclined to share some of that. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Stay scared.